Hey guys, welcome back. And we are just a few days away from Christmas, and I wanted to bring you guys something a little different. I don't have a whole lot of makeup on, but one of the things that a lot of people have problems with is acne scars, scarring, God forbid, a bruise, anything like that. I'm going to show you how to fix them. I don't really have any makeup on, but let's see. I had my lips done the other day, and if you are triggered, let me warn you now, it is a little dramatic. I did get bruised very badly. I'm going to show you right now. Let me show you how to cover this. No, I don't have all my makeup done. That is what I have right there. I know it looks bad, and Christmas is coming up, so let me pull my mirror a little closer. Like I said, if you're triggered by this and you don't like cosmetic procedures, I'm 48 years old, guys. I do it because I enjoy it. But anyway, I'm going to show you how to correct something. And you can use this same thing with blemishes, you know, any kind of healed thing. If it's an open sore, it's going to be a little different, but like redness, bruising. Oh, my face is a little blotchy. But that strictly is from the injections. I hate it. Let's get right into it. Two products I'm going to be using. You can use any kind that you like, but I'm going to use my RCMA No Color Powder and my ColourPop in Fair Neutral number 10. First of all, I have a glass table below me. What I like to do is take a little bit of powder. Actually, I have my palette here. Let's see it on my palette so I can show you. I take my little gloss palette. These are $1. They're just a candle holder from the dollar store. They're nice and smooth inside, and I use them for foundation and a lot of different things. Take your powder. I'm going to kind of knock it out. Get you a nice little pile. You don't want a whole lot, but you want a decent amount. The first thing you're going to do is, I like to use my finger and just get a light amount. And you're going to kind of build just a very light bit of powder over it. And what that's going to do is it's going to help everything you're adding to it to lay down. Every once in a while I do use a brush like this. You can also take a nice, this is a little stiffer brush. You can see. This is more what you would use for concealer. You can do it this way. I like to do it with my finger because I can get it in there a little heavier. And build it up. I don't get it as much as I like that way. I'm using my tongue behind it to support the skin so it doesn't bounce so much. Here we go. You want to get just a nice little area of powder. Then you're going to take your concealer. Always make sure to shake your concealers. A lot of people I see don't do that, and you really need to. Okay, now this has a nice flat little brush, or not brush, little doe foot. And what you're going to do is just come in and lay that on. I'm just patting it on. Now, when you have an area that's already got trauma, you don't want to, you know, really beat up on it. Here we go. And this, it's not going to be 100%. As you saw when I had it on before, I didn't have any makeup, but I did set it. I kind of did it so I wanted to show you when I took it off. I'm going to take a beauty blender. This one is one that I used earlier. It's like just barely even damp. It's basically dry. You don't want it complete, I wouldn't say completely dry, but not like wet where you would put your foundation on. I like to use the tip here and just kind of pat that in. I will also take a little bit of powder and just kind of work it in. What you're going to do, now I only do this when I have problem areas like this. And what I did is I got it nice and set. It's set very heavy, but keep in mind, you're trying to cover something with it. Now, let me get a clean, let me find a clean brush. This is just a Morphe. I think this is actually like a concealer brush. I'm not sure. It's a little heavier than a fluffing brush. You can use like a blush brush, a little heavier brush. And there we go. You get a nice little base for it. Now, once you do your foundation, let me grab a foundation and I'll show you. I'll just show you with this. I love this stuff. This is the Spray-On Airbrush Air Flash Foundation by Dior. I love this stuff. I don't like to spray it right on my face. I like to spray it on a beauty blender. I just spray it on there. This is color 202. I don't use this one in a while. But now when you're doing this, keep in mind, you're going to have to blend that area in with your foundation. And you see what I'm talking about, where you'll still be able to see it slightly. Actually, this is running out. Wow. I did not realize I would use something else. I like this because it's a nice, just light foundation for me. Gives me a little bit of color as I poke myself in the eye. That's the thing about it. But, see, I mean, you have a mark there, you know. You're going to have some, but it's going to give you that little bit of confidence that, you know, that it's not sticking out like a sore thumb. I am going to Christmas with this bruise, so that's why I decided to show you guys this. Don't stay home just because you have, I look like I went around with Mike Tyson, so. I look like I went around with Mike Tyson, and I'm not going to avoid Christmas just because of that. I love this foundation. Somebody asked me earlier about dabbing, telling me about dabbing my foundation. If you watch me, I do dab it. I just go really fast. Just kind of something I've always done. I don't know why I do it so fast. But I do just kind of bounce lightly across it. But I like to move the product fairly fast because I work with a lot of products that dry kind of quick. This is a more luminous, so it gives you a little more time, but being an airbrush type foundation, it's a little difficult. There we go. I mean, you're not going to be perfect, but that is going to get you through. Now, also, I don't do a lot of setting my foundations with powder and whatnot, but you can go back with the extra powder that you have left and just kind of dust that over to make sure you got a little extra coverage. Now, once you get the rest of your makeup on, it's really gonna be a lot easier to cover that. One of the other things I wanted to show you guys is it's the eye look I'm going to be using at dinner for Christmas. We are just having dinner at my parents', and not doing anything like super fancy, but I like to have a little festive look. Let me get my hair out of my way. I like that foundation, but you see I'm in really bright light. Now this, in natural lighting like your home, wouldn't be as noticeable. Once you do your makeup and everything, you wouldn't really notice this area as bad. But I just got this little guy here. This is the 39A, the new Morphe. So they say this is limited edition, Dare to Create. I like it because they give you the nice big transition shades right across the middle, and they give you lots of pops of color. I'm going to be working today with this red right here and these two colors right here. Let's get right into that. I actually had this look on today and I absolutely loved it. A lot of times I'll kind of test drive a look, and you can kind of see I still have a little red there from earlier. There we go. I'm just going into that very first transition shade and just kind of building that up Just kind of giving myself a little depth and a little base to build that color onto. Now I'm going into the third color, which is a little bit darker of a transition shade, and I'm going to go right in very tightly into that socket and just slightly above to kind of give some depth. Now, some people wonder why do you do this underneath makeup and then add color over it? I'm going to go back into that light shade. I didn't go up high enough over here where I wanted. The reason why you do that is even when you put the color on top of it, you're building your depth underneath it. Even when you put a lighter color, you're going to have those different shades underneath that are going to make that color lay on it differently and appear a little darker and a little lighter in other areas. I'm going to go in with that little cranberry red shade on the top that I showed you. And I'm just going to go in right here, kind of work it into that corner and slightly above. I like to give it just a kind of, almost like a glow kind of pop. You can use this with any color really, this idea that I use. I just want something kind of light and kind of sort of festive-y kind of looking. I'll do the same thing over here. I tend to do looks that are more wearable than some of the over-the-top glam looks. If you guys want to see me do some of the more glam looks, let me know. I can do those. I'm more into wearable makeup and a lot of corrective makeup also. You can do a lot with your makeup to correct areas that you just aren't that happy with. Now I'm going to go just a little bit. I'm going to use my color switch. I actually have the Ulta color switch. It's half the price of the other one, actually a third of the price. Going to go in with a little tighter brush. Find a little tighter brush. I cleaned all my brushes. I clean my brushes almost every day. I'm really bad about that. I'm going to go in with this one here. And I'm going to go in with, let me pull my palette up here again. I'm going to go in with this very last one and this one kind of mixed together a little bit. Just to give a little more, actually I'm going to go in that last one and the cranberry that I've already done. Just to kind of give a little more depth right in this corner here. I'm not liking how that's looking right there. Like I said, going in the last one in that cranberry color I've already used. I just don't want so much red. I want more of a festive-y kind of, more burgundy kind of red, I guess you could say. There we go, that's darkening that up slightly. I don't want to go super, super dark. There we go. I want to give a little dimension with that. This also is a Morphe brush. This is out of one of my sets. I prefer these type of brushes. I believe these are the natural brushes. I think they're goat's hair. I can't remember. I'm going to go back in with that very first brush that I used, and I'm going to go in that very first transition color. I'm just going to kind of blend off these edges a little bit here. I'm not liking how harsh that's looking. There we go. You can always build up, so just remember, if you are working with a darker color that you're not used to start out light and work your way up. It's easier to add more product than try to take it off. This here is another Morphe brush. It's a very tiny, tiny pencil brush. You can see, I mean, it is just a teeny little thing. I like this for eyeliner type looks, and I'm going to go in that cranberry red color. I'm going to go very tight up against the lower lash line to bring that color up underneath. There we go. And it had a little bit of that darker color actually sitting on top of it, so it worked out very well that I used to darken up, so that worked out really nice. That was the color I was using, and then I'm going to come up here and I'm going to slightly do a wing with the liner right there. Without, I don't really do a lot of thick, heavy liner looks. Give you that kind of wing look, and it draws. What you want to do is draw that eye up. You don't want that eye sagging too much. You always want to follow the lower lash line and up towards the corner of your brow. And go back in and just kind of blend that little end off there a little bit. I'm not liking how that kind of tapered off there. Now, one little trick I like to do is take my beauty blender, and this one I like it because it's nice and tight right there, and it's got a little bit of foundation already on it, and I just come right here and just kind of glide that, and that straightens up that little stragglers there. If you want it, I like a nice tight line there, and see how that just tightened that up. Now you can go in with an eyeliner, or you can leave it like this. One of the things that I like to use with Christmassy type colors is gold. I love golds, okay? Laura Lee came out with this awesome palette. If you guys have not tried this, I'm absolutely loving this right here. And the gold, look at this color, guys. Look at that. Can you see that? Look at that. It's hard to see. Let me show you. Look at the pigment on this gold. Isn't that beautiful? That is just so pretty. And that's dry. That is completely dry, no product. What I like is you can come in with this with your ring finger and just kind of tap that in. It will look like this. And it really just sets it off. Now this does have quite a bit of fallout, but any foiled type color like this you go into, they are going to tend to be a little crumbly. Sorry about my voice, guys. My voice is a little off during this video. It's because I'm just getting over being sick. There we go. And we're just going to kind of tap those ends off right there. I'm going to go in with a fluffy brush and that gold and just taper that little end off right there into that cranberry color. It gives you a nice little look there. I also like to go underneath, right at the lash line, with a nice tight brush like this, similar to what I was just using, into that gold. You want to make sure to tap it off very well and go right up against that lower lash line. You don't want to go into the eye, but you want to go nice and tight. Right up against that lash line. You can also go right in the corner of the eye. You don't want too much. One thing I do like to do is right here. I come in one brush width's length right here on the inner. And what that does is it kind of makes my eyelid look a lot bigger than it is. I have noticed a lot of makeup artists are starting to doing that. It's something I've been doing for quite a while. And I didn't know it was a thing. You know, I went to cosmetology school in, good God, I'm going to show my age here in a minute, 1985 and 86. And I got away from that. So, to let you know, my training professionally is very, very old. So, and then I worked with dogs for many, many years. And that was mainly my thing. There we go. I'm really liking this Laura Lee palette. You know, she took a lot of heat for this. But I think she did a really good job. And she really, you know, she made this palette more personal, I think. Because they're very personal colors to her. If you look, these are very common colors that you will see her wear. And if you watch her videos, she pulls this palette out a lot. And, you know, I like to see somebody use their products. Just like Jaclyn Hill, if you watch Jaclyn Hill, she pulls out her Morphe palette quite a bit. But, You know, if I had somebody that collabed a palette for me, I would pull it out every day too. Anyway, I'm not going to go ahead and finish everything, but I do want to say you want to complement the highlighter that you use with the eye look, and I'm liking this MAC. This is out of their holiday one, and this is Whisper of Guilt. Is that what it is? Whisper of Guilt Extra Dimension Skin Finish. That's this one here. It is so pretty. It's very gold, but it doesn't overdo your eyes. One thing you don't want to do, you don't want to go in too heavy and pull away from what you've done on your eyes. See, I'm just doing it very, very light, just to give you some dimension there. You don't want to pull away. I love that gold in that eye, and I like that to be the main kind of staple. Always make sure to dust off underneath your eyes. And as far as lip color, it really depends on you. If you want to go with something a little more red, or if you want to go with something a little more of a nude. I personally, you know, I don't, as I say, have a lot of money and go crazy on makeup, but I wanted this so bad. This is the YSL. I think this was limited edition. This was the Rouge per Contour. I can't say it. I'm not sure. The Dazzling Lights edition number 9. Rose Stiletto is what this is called. This is a beautiful, beautiful color. It's kind of a more of a mauve kind of red. My lips are so sore. I would pair that with that. And then just finish off with some finishing spray. Toss of my hair. And be on my way. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I did want to put up some kind of holiday look. I am really not feeling well, so I didn't go as extravagant as I wanted to. I'm still waiting for part of my MAC order to get here. Most of it I actually ordered through Macy's. I was having problems getting things directly from MAC, unfortunately. But I wanted to put up a giveaway tonight, but I'm not going to be able to do that. I will be putting one up Christmas Day probably, or shortly after. Check my Instagram, because I may put it up there first before I actually put it up in a video. But I hope you guys enjoyed. Have a great night. Talk to you soon.